Hello everybody and welcome back to Tropico. Looking at our tourist district here, what we still need is, well, a few more buildings here, service buildings that kind of like, lure the people into this district here. Oh, a plane with lots of tourists, by the way, so 50 new tourists has arrived. Each one of them pays us a handsome amount of money there as well. So they just landed here and they should then be going into the metro station and then right out of this metro station here. At least that's my thought behind all of that. It still looks rather empty here and there are some people coming out now here, so hopefully most of them were from the plane then as well. Of course we do have the other one here still, the tourist port. This is where people can still go, and as we can see, people also use this port here to travel to those snorkel bays that we have here, and this one actually is quite full, earning us a bit of money there as well. And they're just using this one here. The yacht club still is a bit empty. The yacht club though is something that is something for more rich people, so they can go over here. So I'm still thinking about having other metro stations here too. I'm not entirely sure how I should place them, so in this case we do have one here, so we probably will have another one here then. Now let's have a look. The golf course, some tourists are here for now, that's good. The luxury hotel still has no one in there. There we have a nice little spot in the center, so I could either go with a very large park. That is something that I'm actually inclined to do. There we have the park, but not this one here. I think we have other ones too, right? Square, Space Memorial. No, let's have this park here, a large one. And we can actually change the variation. So there we have this center here with a beautiful park here. What else do we have? Well, for luxury entertainment, we can still go with, or entertainment, was it entertainment? Was it public service? It was public service, that is the beauty farm. So this provides faith to visiting citizens and fun to visiting tourists. All right, seems like that's a very strange building here, but we can have that here in the center. Just around the parks here, beauty farm for my tourists, so hopefully that does something here to attract a few more. Our hotels so far, well, most of them are pretty well booked, I'd say. This one here still needs a few more. Otherwise, we do have a nice booked tourist port right now. Let's go back to Tropico itself. Right now we're still earning us a decent amount of money there, right? With our exports, our tourists, our offices now, our modern apartments that we have here. As we can see, they do give us some money. There we have the Skyscraper Hotel, which has now tourists on board and which is then earning us some money there in addition. That's all nice and dandy.
Sir,
what we still need,
unable to move the giant stone heads
deliver logs to Commando Garrison. That was something we can do. I fulfilled the house promise here, so we can reduce the budget for housing again, because this is just way too expensive anyway. In that case here, I just increased the budget and, fulfilled the promise with that. That's fine. But of course we want to get more money out of those guys. Now what we still need is modern industry. Of course, as we can see, tourism is flowing a bit, even though we lost a lot of tourists right now. But otherwise, what I still want to do is, well, still increasing my export a bit. We do have a few production buildings here, but that's not everything. So with the modern times, we got lots of new production chains, as we can see. One of them is the electronics. Now that is something that I really want to go for. We actually produce plastics already. We do have gold, so electronics might be the next thing for that. However, we do have a jewelry here somewhere, and there's the jewelry workshop. Now of course it is working, as we can see, but it's not worth it anymore in my opinion. So when I look at the trade menu and then we look at the prices of the goods, we can see that, oh, actually, wait a second. Oh, actually, jewelry is more worth it than electronics. Let's stick with jewelry then, right? We want to keep the highest goods here available. So jewelry, smart furniture. We do produce some furniture somewhere. There we produce it. Is there an upgrade for that? Now there are some really nice upgrades for the furniture factory. That is, for example, the building requires an additional 25 megawatt of electrical power, but the efficiency is increased by 100%. Of course we're going with that. Workers require high school education, decreases plank consumption by 25. Yeah, we might actually go with that, but right now we produce way more furniture. Unfortunately, it's not the smart furniture, so that is something for this one here. Smart furniture studio, and this processes furniture and electronics to produce the smart furniture, right? That is something. Now processes oil to pharmaceuticals. That might be something. Are we actually exporting oil right now? I don't think so, but we could get more oil, right? We do have The oil rig, now that is something that we can purchase. And then we can build that. Oh, that's really expensive though. 20,000 for that. The oil rig, that is something for oil deposits. And as we can see, we get a few oil deposits here. And we do have a few additional oil deposits here in the swampland, so where we actually really don't, you know, need anything. And then we can place the oil wells. So we have one over here still that we can go with, and one here then, something like that. So hopefully my workers can arrive there as well. That's of course always the problem with those things here. We can build them quickly. We need that oil. Let's build them, and let's have a few upgrades here. So the fracking post, we can do that for all the oil wells actually with control click, and then, well, we upgrade all the oil wells now, and they have a 20% higher efficiency. The same goes with decreases consumption of the oil deposit to 80% of the produced units of oil, coil, turbine, rig. Let's activate that as well. With that, we do have some very efficient oil wells now. And what we need, well, we do need now the pharmaceuticals for that. So that's the pharmaceutical. Oh, that is a really, really expensive building though. Hopefully it's worth it. It's a modern building, so we can actually have it rather close to the city, I'd say. Right, so we can actually have it over here. It's a very modern looking building. So why not just have it here? Right, close to my people there beside the hospital. Yeah, that makes sense actually. Let's build it here. Right, we're probably going to have some smaller parks here then. Something squeezing in like that. And juicery, so this one here, out of bananas and pineapples, it produces juice. Something we can do as well, but I think right now we will be quite low on the power grid.
The citizens are demanding election.
Yes, election. What problem do we have? We don't really have that many problems right now. Crime, safety, happiness, and job happiness are two things that are rather low, what I can see. So crime, safety, perhaps that is something we can do with another police station. Let's praise the religious ones because we are lowest with them. Let's blame no one. And we can go with another promise once again. In that case here, job happiness, right? Now, let's not have any promise this time. I think everything is pretty high, so it would be really difficult to go with anything else.
Welcome to a golden age of prosperity for every living Tropico.
And let's have another solar power plant.
It was your trust that made it possible. Your trust of me, El Presidente. Know the...
And as the pharmaceutical factory is coming up here, we can still, well, add a few beauty to it, around it, so that we have a few park. There we have a park, and I think, no, there actually we do have a metro station. That's fine. It's heavily used, as we can see, and people are paying at least a few things for that. Decreases the negative impact on crime safety by 10, and the building requires additional 2 megawatt of power. That's pretty useful here for all the metro stations, because, you know, we do have a low crime happiness there, so I'm just inclined to go with that. And then all of them now have additional lighting. Now here, let's have another park. And as we can see, it is needed here because it's a really ugly district from what I can tell. Right, so a few additional parks. And then we have now the pharmaceutical company. A beautiful building, for sure. And yeah, network balance is a bit negative right now, but that's going to change soon. Generating generics as a work mode. We actually can't do anything here, so there are no upgrades or something like that. But high school educated people are working for that right away. And what I can see is we got the blueprint for the juicery. So that's 6,000 that we save on that. And we could have that factory then. And yeah, in fact, let's have it over here in our little factory district. Let's get rid of that road there. And yeah, no curved roads there. I know Tropico is not good at this. And in that case, let's have it. I mean, I'm also inclined to move the steel mill there soon once I have a bit more money there on the side again, because we still need the steel, but it's just a very ugly building to have so close to the town center. What we can still have is the juicery though. That is something, because it shouldn't pollute it too much. It emits little pollution, so it's perfectly fine. We can have it somewhere over here beside the bus garage. Or actually over here, far further outside. Yeah, let's have the juicery here. And wait a second. First of all, what we need to do is here tighten us. Oh, we cannot do that. Okay. I wanted to straighten the street there, but that's not really possible. Right, and then we have our mine. Can we do something here with that? Modernize the mine to an automated mine. That costs us a bit, but it makes it more beautiful here, of course, which is important since we are so close to the town now. This one here we could fill up. It cost me 10,000 actually. Buries the accumulated trash in a landfill to keep the garbage dump operational. 10,000 is a lot, but let's do that because it's really full. And now it can work again, I think, from scratch to, well, get rid of the waste there. And what's going on here?
I have so many ideas.
Social activist, luxury hotel, it's a tourist. And
Sir, yes, sir.
deliver the logs to
operation is
commando
back on
garrison.
target.
I don't think we even have a commando garrison, but whatever. That's that. Juice being produced then. It does need pineapples and banana. We do produce a lot of banana, though we don't produce any pineapples yet. So let's have a plantation for the pineapples. Hopefully we do have, yeah, very good. Up there we do have a decent one. There's a bus going to this position here. Yep, there's a bus station, so we should have everything here for that one. Let's quick build it. Pineapple one, and let's have some upgrades to this as well. So increase efficiency of nearby, no, decreases the upkeep, no, okay, actually we don't need those things. We can, however, increase the budget for my plantations. That makes the farm workers a bit more wealthy, you know, and they can afford a bit more, a tiny bit more. Yeah, something else, the election is close. Our support is, well, it's still good, but it's not too good, so I don't want to risk anything here. So let's have a tax cut. It costs us a bit, 3,000 or something like that, and this should boost, yeah, our support to that. So our people are quite easily purchasable, and with that, let's continue with our industry. So we have the textile here. We want to modernize more here, you know, so in that case here, lots of them have some good upgrades here that we can have to make them better. Decreases the sugar consumption for this one here. Of course we can go with that because we never really have that much sugar, and at the same time we can increase the efficiency by 20% with a bit of power. We do have enough power now once again, and we can do that with all of those things. Increasing the job quality is always very good because this gives us a long-term bonus to support, to happier citizens. Our textile mill can have additional job positions, we can afford that, and use both wool and cotton as long as both goods are available. And if both are available, we get 15% higher output. As we can see, cotton and wool is really high there, so we produce a lot of cloth there right now.
Is a landslide, President.
So in that case,
cold as hell where our troops are stationed. Or is it as hot as hell?
okay,
No,
they need warmer uniforms. Sheepskin jackets are in vogue this year. I don't know why we don't even have an army at this point, but yeah, deliver wool to commando garrison. Is there something with that? Is that perhaps a quest that leads to something? No idea, but let's have the upgrade here. It's a bit expensive, but it does increase it. Cigar factory looks fine. We have the jewelry workshop, which is an important building because jewelry, as we can see, is very valuable, and we have enough gold. So let's have decreases job quality. No, that's not good. Power for a bit of efficiency. That's good though. And let's increase the budget on this one here too. Plastic one decreases pollution. Upkeep it 200% more. Nah, that's not good. Let's keep it as it is. So those are producing a bit more here. The toy workshop needs cotton. Now in that case here, I'm actually inclined to reduce or to get rid of the toy workshop altogether, but no idea. Let's just keep it as is. Creamery, job quality increasing. Creamery is producing though, but that's fine, right? Let's go back to the new productions that we have here, so that we have the pharmaceuticals, as we can see, is being produced now. One of the most valuable items on the list. So that should give us a nice boost to the export. And then we have the juicery here. Still needs a few banana and pineapples here. For the juice, we allow local consumption. That means that those goods can be brought then, for example, to the shopping mall here. Down here we can see the list of what is actually sold here right now, and juice is already there in the list. So we can sell it directly, earn money with that, or we can export it so the game decides whenever it needs something here. And the only thing that I think we need more now is, well, an upgrade to our Teamster offices. So I do think we need another Teamster office, since we got so many additional buildings. And there's the Teamster office. And in that case, let's have that at the... yeah, let's have it over here at our little export harbor there. With that, let's actually quick build it. It's not a big deal. Then we have that, and let's upgrade it to a second shift there as well, so even more people there. So we shouldn't actually have any unemployed citizens, and we barely have any. That's pretty good. Looking at that, homeless citizens, though, we have lots of well-off people that are homeless. So that means, of course, as you know, probably another, yeah, modern apartment that we can build, and I love them. So let's have another modern apartment, and let's see where we should have it. Yeah, we can have it over here, actually. Just beside the restaurant, behind El Presidente. There we can build another modern apartment. That's fine. Produce juice. There we have the quest for the environmentalists. Get a bit of a standing there for them. And a fire station. Oh, and the stadium. We still haven't built the stadium. That is something, of course, we should be going for as well. There it is. Stadium for, well, oh, that's 30,000 though. So once again, we have to postpone it a bit. Oh, well, now we can afford it with that income. And look at that beautiful building. We just need to find the proper space, and I think over here is a fine spot. So a bit further outside. We still have lots of building space here that I intend to fill. We could even have it that far outside here, but let's go with this spot here. No, this one. And yeah, let's actually have it here. Just there where we have the President Palace. Of course, the President Palace is no longer alone because we're going to add a few more buildings to this one there too. One of them is the ministry, so we can have ministers that, well, are suggested by political factions to improve individual aspects of Tropican society or to gain illegal earnings from accepting bribes. It's not that expensive. It's a huge building, actually. Well, it's not that huge, actually. I was expecting a bit more. And we can have that then here somewhere around the, or in our little, you know, government district. So I'd say have the ministers just beside our palace. Something like that is fine. I hope this is, no, this is actually not good because we cannot build the street there. So unfortunately the street system is really not that good. Let's have it, oh, we need to have it right at the street, you know, otherwise it doesn't work. And let's have a look at our trades. There are two, some additional blueprints. Let's try to get them. Observation. No, I think that's fine. Yeah, I don't want to sabotage anyone. In fact, I want to praise my factions here. We can afford that. And it's so important to have positive relations there with the superpowers. So the stadium is being built now. And here now we can have the ministry. Just here. And here we might actually just then have some parks. Right, so a few parks there to separate those. We can also have some smaller parks than in here to separate the ministry, and let's actually have those parks then around this one here as well. A little park area. And then what else can we still build? We still do have a bit of money there. The courthouse, another bank, immigration, trade institute. Or another office. No, actually, let's just keep it like that for now. A fire station is still something that we need. Public service. And then we should have the fire station. There it is. We need to build another one. It's fine though, because of course, fire risk is still there. So let's have one here. Right, so there. This one, this area here will keep free. So what I still want to do here is though that we still have at least something here is some parks. So those parks are then around the palace more or less, and we can still place another building then here to finish this little government district there. And here we can then continue with other buildings, especially around the stadium, which is coming to completion now.
Is back on.
You act with great conviction, Presidente. A very Tropican trait. Why, some of our greatest leaders were convicted.
Alright, and conservative standing there a bit more support, that's fine. And there we have the stadium in all its glory. Huge building, and probably we should have something like a metro station here too. Oops, not a power station, but a metro station here in the center then. That's a good spot because we are going to have, of course, lots of other buildings here then. For those people living here. There's still the fire station now, money-wise. Yeah, probably a very good position there. We could have a parking garage, that is something we don't have. Let's have that beside the fire station. And I think that's actually for the infrastructure quite enough already. Right, there was still something for the tourism, and that is the Rehab Center. So this provides healthcare to visiting citizens and fun to visiting tourists, preferred by celebrity tourists. Now that is something, of course, we want to have more or less to the closer to the tourist sector here, so that is something, of course, that might actually make sense outside here somewhere. So it's a rehab center, it needs to be quiet and stuff like that, so people can enjoy the day. So I think this is a nice spot that we have here for this rehab center there. Just a street connection. And then we can have that here. Of course, you need to get there by car, that is. But that is still something my people need to afford, of course. Tourist port, there is some tourists coming in. Lots of tourists are leaving. I need to look that up, how many tourists we still have. 300 tourists at the moment, so that's quite a lot. The tourist rating is 60. That we can then see how high or what is actually low for the tourist rating and what tourists we attract. So in that case here, accommodations that we have for the luxury hotel is 80, so quite a lot for them. The Skyscraper Hotel, family resort, and tourist attractions, restaurants, fast food, taverns, the stadium now. That's pretty good. Where is my botanical garden? That's fine. Cabaret, circus, yacht club, hanging club. This one here is not on the list, the beauty farm, even though it is for tourists there as well. Oh, and we fulfilled another demand here, the fire station, so that's good for the intellectuals there, a bit of support for those guys here. And lots of tourists are on the streets there at the moment. No one likes to go hang gliding though. What I think though is, yeah, since the hotels are pretty well booked, we should build more hotels, right? So that we have a few more spots here. How's the luxury hotel looking? Still empty. No chance there. But what we can do is having a metro station over here then as well for that district here.
Then good news. Noted firebrand Jesus Fuego arrived on Tropico today. I, for one, can't wait to be shouted at.
And then we can add a few more hotels here. So in this case here, let's have the hotel because that's high quality resident. We can have one here. And what I still haven't built is the beach villa here. So that is high quality accommodation with 2 rooms, preferred by tourists seeking stress relief. So that we get those kind of people there as well. And yeah, having those beach houses there, that is something probably for, yeah, a bit further outside there and close to the beach, that is. So that is something we could, yeah, have here then. Because there's nothing here and we do have something they could use then, hopefully. Beside my electrical substation. For a few relaxing tourists or relaxation tourists that are coming this way here. And perhaps we should also have another Skyscraper Hotel in the town because the first one is pretty heavily used there. Should we squeeze it in here? Yeah, let's squeeze it in here actually, but wait a second, I need to see if that is the right. Oh, yeah, the rubble's there. I don't know why this system is in place, but still, we need to wait for the rubbles to go away. There's a shack, let's get rid of it. We can't allow any shacks here, and let's have a park there. Lest that it comes back. And then, let's go back for my Skyscraper Hotel. This way here, that's fine. And what I can see is the cruise ship is something that we still haven't built yet. The high quality accommodation with 12 rooms for rich guests. That is something, of course, we need to build on the ocean, it seems. Yeah, very good. And I don't know, do we need to build it? Spot is already taken. How can people get here? No idea. We just will place it, I guess. Somewhere here. Further outside. And probably the tourists will then just have to swim there by the boat or something like that. The Rehab Center is finished. A nice building here outside. There is the entrance according to the system, but there is also something here. Can we merge that? Oh god, we cannot do that, of course. So I need to get rid of the streets here again. This is better. Because there's still the automatic connection now. And of course here's more or less the entrance for this one. For this resort that we have there. People are working here, no tourists yet, but of course that still takes a bit of time. And our next hotel is being finished now too. I think the family resorts, what I can see here, are really popular. And the Cabana Village.
You may have noticed,
yeah, they're both full as well.
Drones outside your windows.
So let's go with another Cabana Village.
When they sense fear.
Something that we can have here outside more. Right, and another family hotel. Family resort, that is. So those are the resorts for, yeah, where you can do everything in one place. Just a question of where the street entrance for this one is. Looking fine so far, so our tourist center is growing a bit more. Hopefully we're making more money out of it soon. The snorkel bays are being heavily used as well. No one at the rehab center yet, but we just have to wait for the next plane then, that is. And let's quick build the Skyscraper Hotel, the next one that we have here. And thrill-seeking tourists add their stay at these accommodations as an additional visited attraction. That's pretty good there. Relaxation ones in the Skyscraper too. So Skyscraper at the moment, of course, is only for the rich and educated. Oh, look at that, it's full right away. And in that case here, yeah, we might add other type of tourists then, if we have any problem with filling it. But right now, no problem filling it. What I can still do is having a few parks here close to my beach. The problem here though is, once again, that the tiles, you cannot really get rid of them or something like that, so they just here. But yeah, it's a nice transitional look that we have here, at least to the beach.
1100 hours, which coincidentally is the number of blisters on poor Penultimo's hands.
Have you ever tried rolling a 14-ton carved stone head across logs and into an aircraft's hold? Alright. No idea what this is about. That's it though. Looking good so far, and we'll continue in the next episode. Stay tuned.